So in our last 3 weeks of data factory Synapse concepts, we are learning all these examples. Yes, friends, what are the limitations of TSQL imports? You remember? Slow, right? It is slow. Anything else? Yeah, it's slow and
only one table.
yeah, literally like it's one source, one destination. We cannot do any transformations. Yes, everyone? Are we getting?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's like multi-statement, right?
Yeah. And one more thing, it is slow, and at the same time, we cannot really automate or schedule the things, right? It's not as flexible as your data factory pipelines. No user interface. So because of these limitations, we got data factory, wherein we learnt about ADF creation. So firstly, we started from here. After all these concepts, then we got ADF, right from resource creation. What's the purpose of IR? You remember, please, everyone? Purpose of IR? I'll wait. Integration runtime, please. Yep. What's the purpose of integration runtime? To establish the connections, right? To create linked services. Please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, to create the linked service, we have this IR. So I'm just giving it in order, okay? IR first, linked service next, data set third, then only pipeline, right? Isn't it? Dependency. Yes, please, everyone. Getting it now, please. I'll wait. Dependency.
Yes, sir.
And to mark that dependency, we also learned one small diagram there. After all these basics, we got one diagram like this. Yes, you remember now. IR to linked service to data set to pipeline. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. Yeah. And next we are going to learn something called logic apps. Okay. Next item, we are going to learn something called logic apps. Logic apps can monitor all these contents. We'll see how to do that. Something called logic apps we are going to learn. Next. Then we learned about basic data loads, copy data activity, bulk and set, self-hosted IR. You remember this, please? We learned about self-hosted IR last week, early last week. What's the purpose?
Well, we remember, sir.
For on-premise data loads, right? Isn't it? From our on-premise data loads to cloud, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
there we got this one, on-premise data loads to cloud. And from there we have something called upset activity also, right? We did the incremental loads upset, like new row inserts, existing row updates with single business key.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Then we learned about the concept of pipeline settings, copy data, data flow, and then we learned about DIU staging, polybase, DOCP, logging activities. We learned all these items. I have a set of concept-wise FAQs and answers I'll be providing you today over the weekend. You please go through it carefully. We learned about the concept of file incremental loads. Right? You remember, please? Binary copy, file incremental loads.
Yes, sir.
Yes, after DIUs, we got storage account and pipelines, polybase, column store. Then we got about file incremental loads. Then we got data flow. From data flow, we got the concept of conditional split. We did data flow. From there, we got conditional split and joint transformations. For aggregated data store, we got these joint transformations. So in join transformation, we also learned the concept of working with the items pertaining to broadcast. You remember now? Broadcast options and optimization options. Yes, please. You remember?
Yes, sir.
It's very, very important. Okay. What are the different broadcast options we have? Please. I'll wait. Please have a look at your notes carefully. Please. What are the different broadcast options? I'll wait. Remember, broadcast means like preloading the data into Spark cluster memory. Yes, please. You remember? Everyone. I'll wait.
Just a minute.
Fine. Left table, right table, auto. Yes, you're getting it now? Please. I'll wait. Left, right, full, none. Fine. No problem. The other day you got one note for optimizations. Okay, please refer to those optimizations carefully. And one of the snippet from that notes, broadcast option, partition option. In partition option, we have round robin, hash, fixed range, conditional range, key partition. When we are learning about pivot transformation, we got these items. Hope you remember now. Please, I'll wait.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Please, okay, go through all the notes careful. I understand. Lot of keywords, but no other option for us. Need your support. Please go through all these items by weekend. Can we have a friendly mock test on Monday on all these items? Please let me know. Please, can we?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir.
Please,
Yes.
for our sake. Yeah, sure, we'll do. Okay, next, let's continue. After we learned about, let me come back to our checklist. After we learn about data flow activities, pivot operations, derived column, and data flow debug, cluster, data preview, column name pattern. Do you remember this, please? Column name pattern. Pivot transformation, getting the column
Yes.
names.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, prefix, suffix. Remember now, everyone, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. Yeah, good. Let's continue. We got expressions even yesterday also. We got expressions. In earlier classes, conditional split, you got expressions C and two integer, changing the data types in expressions. Parameters we learned even yesterday with the parameters on the login name password, right? Isn't it? We did login
Yes.
password. There also we got expressions. We got aggregations, type conversions, group by. There is something called cache data and inline data. These two will be doing it next. These are the items from your data flow document. Even I was mentioning the same thing in a class when we were talking about Spark the other day, Apache Spark pool. In Apache Spark pool also we have something called memory optimized, if you remember. Apache Spark pool memory. While triggering the pipeline, we need to set the size of the Spark cluster. There you get memory optimized. Whereas data flow, you have memory optimized and transaction optimized. I repeat, Spark pool have only memory optimized. Data flow has memory optimized and transaction optimized. These items in your data flow document also initially. We learned about copy data, DIU copy command, then Synapse Studio. In Synapse Studio also I request you to do incremental loads. We did it through ADF. Please do those activities in Synapse Studio. It works the same way. We got array parameters. That array parameters is from multi-table incremental loads. In multi-table incremental loads, you got two tables, right? You remember customers table, products table. sorry, projects table, right? Customers and projects.
Yeah.
So those two tables can be given as array to the pipeline. Dynamically connect to the source and destination, perform data delta using procedure activity with merge table, merge statement. Extract data using variables, parameters. So all these items are from the multi-table incremental load example. Then we need to have something called monitoring activities. Apart from monitoring, yeah, please check your mic, please. We learned something called Apache Spark pool tables. Yes, you remember, please. Percentile, PySpark, percentile, Spark. You remember, everyone?
Yes.
ETL.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you remember DOP, max DOP, degree of parallelism.
Yes, sir. Optimization.
Yeah, DOCP. You remember now?
Yes, sir.
Transistor number.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. We did these concepts. And we got something called control node, compute node are same as here in SQL pool. Same SQL pool activities in dedicated SQL pool in Synapse Studio. I mean, architecture is same. We'll be having lookup activity. Next, we'll do something called lookup activity. And from lookup activity, we'll be understanding the actual monitoring operations. We have activity dependency. Like, for example, the other day, we learned if a procedure activity is success, then only execute the notebook activity. Remember now?
Yes, sir.
Remember, firstly procedure activity, then notebook activity, Synapse pipelines, Synapse Studio,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Synapse pipelines example. Yep. And for each activity, we have been learning since first class, first example. Even yesterday's example also has that for each activity. Inside for each activity, we need to actually give item expressions. Item expressions will be given inside for each activity. For each table, for each object, those tables and objects are called items. In this process, we learned about workspace, studio, and pipelines and notebooks and pools. And we also learned about how to perform stage using storage containers, traditional method, staging using Apache Spark pools. And we learned about polybase implementations. With all this content, let's move on to our next item now. Let me create the Synapse workspace. And let's move on to our pending items from our module, Data Factory Synapse module. We need to learn something called inline data sets, cached data sets. And then we are going to learn the concept of lookup and cached lookup. I was hinting yesterday, there is one method for incremental loads. We did upset method, right? We did upset method. We got file incremental loads method, binary copy. Then we learned about merge statement method with a procedure, stored procedure and table parameters. Other one we have CDC, I was hinting yesterday. Remember, please, change data capture.
Yes.
Okay. Once we perform all these activities, we can do monitoring concepts, monitoring and alerts. Let's observe the things carefully here one by one. I'll take the screenshots. Yeah, please mute your mics now, please. Simple concepts we'll do slowly one by one. I'll show you the things in Synapse Studio. I request you to do the same in Data Factory Studio also, please. Give a try. I'll take the screenshots here.